So there's a lot of madness right now about, what happened at Watches and Wonders 2023, and I personally have so much content that I still didn't edit and put out, something I might do over the coming few weeks. I wanted to move away from that, right? So I wanted to take a step back. I absolutely love this watch. There's a lot of thoughts on this watch not being for everyone, and I can appreciate that. I can understand why. The thought of it not being an in-house movement, it is not for everyone. But when I look at elite brands like Vacheron and what they put out as quote-unquote entry level, I don't personally think it's an entry-level watch because you're still spending a handsome penny there, right? But when you think about this description for a second, right, because it's such a vague description, entry levels, what really defines that, and to whom, right? This is a watch that I've owned for over a year and few months, and I never talked about it. I mean, there's nothing cheap or basic about what Vacheron does, not even this 56, especially when it comes from the world's oldest watchmaker. So this 2018 release, this 56, is a mid-century Evoque design. I think this is a mid-century charm, right? That offers flexibility, that sits well on the wrist, that you can wear not only as a classic watch, but also a sport watch. It could look dressy, it could look sporty, or casual. I'm not really sure, it's confusing. But at the end of it, it says Vacheron and it's super elegant. So this self-winding 56 is a 40mm watch with time, date, and central seconds only. You get two options, either a silver dial or blue dial when it comes to the stainless steel variation. So I put it on the wrist and I look at it and I say, you know what? This can go with anything. Both options also come with a matching leather strap, with the exception of course for this blue dial. If you got it on a leather strap, you can actually top up this multi-link stainless steel bracelet for an extra. I'm not sure if you knew that or not. I love the way it tapers, I love the way it hugs your wrist. It's thin, really thin. The other route of course is to order it in this combination, as is, right? Because it's also offered on stainless steel. I mean, I know we've heard this before, that trends and tastes are cyclical, they repeat, they come back again, but it's interesting to kind of live through that and witness it for myself. 1950s is when Vacheron evoked this design, derived from the reference 60-70C, combining dressy and casual elements together. Here I am, 73 years later, speaking of how versatile, how elegant this design is. It's still relevant to this date. And I know there's a lot of people that would question basically the 56 and it's not an in-house movement. Let me just remind you that this is also what you call a group movement, right? We've seen it with Swatch and Hamilton and Longines and all the stuff they do there. Richemont also has their own group movement, which is a movement that is basically shared across the Richemont group. Not outside, but within the Richemont group umbrella. So this is a Cartier-based caliber. I'm not really bothered by it because I've been to the manufacturer. And even though a few would interpret this Cartier-based movement, this non-Geneva hallmark Vacheron, as a failure, I've seen the manufacturing process this watches go through. I've spoken to a master watchmaker. I can attest to Vacheron's quality. If this 56 was a full non-group in-house movement, it would actually be double the price. I mean, you might be a die-hard caliber, in-house movement, all the function. That's not me. That's not what you should be watching Watch Society for. VC's high craftsmanship, their attention to details, and how much time is spent for each one of their Vacheron watches. If you think about it, right? The 54 that had just come out in Watches and Wonders. The reason why it triggered a lot of emotions is because it's a vintage inspired design, right? Not that I don't like that 54, I do, and I'm looking forward for one. But this is similar, but this is from a watchmaker. This is from the oldest watchmaker. They're here telling you that this design is still relevant, that this design is still versatile. I mean, the look, the feel on the wrist is absolutely amazing. I've had it for over a year now, as I said, and I absolutely love it. I don't really care if it's an in-house caliber or not. To me, it's enough that it says Vacheron, right? That's really what it is, man. And I do highly recommend you try it on if you get a chance.